Craftsman sent us to Green Bay, and here's why. We are touring some of the most incredible fan zones in the area to get inspiration to build our very own at our house. Over the next couple videos, you're going to come on the tour with us, and we're going to show you everything we were inspired by and that we might incorporate in our very own fan zone. So welcome to the Garage Door House. Now this fan zone's creative because they really incorporated the indoor and outdoor feel. There's literally 7 garage doors inside this house, so you can just open everything up and have a party inside and outside. We really like the creative use of cinder blocks and these composite bricks to look like shingles on the roof. I'm sure we can all imagine having some food and drink at this indoor-outdoor bar, but if the TV inside is not good enough, then you can just click this button and a hidden TV appears from the outside. I think something we could apply from the Garage Door House is really just maximizing the flow of your indoor and outdoor spaces. Now we are off to the Stadium House, and it's not just called that because of its proximity to the stadium. It is literally designed to look just like the stadium across the street. In the DIY world, attention to detail is of utmost importance, and this house does not skip a single detail. Designed with the same brick, stone, and even trim as the stadium, it is really incredible. From the 4th story patio to the basement, it is literally decked out. And in true Nick and Liv fashion, anytime I saw a really cool build, I wanted to show how you could do it with some Craftsman tools. This was the fan zone that kept on giving, because outside they had a turf football field in their backyard that overlooked the stadium. So of course we had to have some fun in the backyard with the family, and it just reminded us how important your backyard space is. Our house is red brick, so when we saw this, it really got our gears turning on how we might be able to incorporate that into our fan zone if we did it in the backyard. And my little guy asked me to build this game for him, so I'm definitely gonna have to do that. And speaking of games, that brings us to our next house that we called the Yard Game House. I think all of the fan zones that we visited had some element of outdoor games incorporated, so we definitely are gonna have to do that for ours. This house actually used to have a swimming pool that they turned into a really cool patio and fire pit, and then they have this great grassy area with all kinds of games. The ring toss game in particular was a favorite of Olivia and I's. So I will be building that as well as cornhole, which of course I got all of the measurements for, and I will teach you that in a later video. Whoever did the stonework back here had some mad skills because of the way they incorporated the brick. I was pretty impressed. We're both super competitive, so I think a bunch of games in our fan zone will be a great idea or a recipe for me sleeping on the couch. We were their first visitors from Oklahoma, so we made sure to get a picture for the wall. I thought for sure we were going to incorporate a urinal into the fan zone, but Olivia wasn't for it. But she did like the women's restroom in this house. Just kidding. I can't say that either are going to make the cut, but we've got to say, we were really impressed this house turned a 3-bedroom into a 3-bathroom. They did that just so they could throw the biggest possible game day parties, and we're calling it the Turf House because of this big, nice turf area over here. What's cool is they didn't really have that much space, and they turned this into an area that can host over 300 people on game day. They also have their own microbrewery, which was pretty cool. Last stop on the first part of our fan zone tour is called the Greenhouse. Now, it's called that for pretty obvious reasons, but legal actually wouldn't even let us show a lot of this house because that is how hard they went on some specifically trademarked teams. I loved that so many of the houses on the street had their garages transformed and they had rooftop decks. You know I couldn't just enjoy the deck without talking about how I did mine. Make sure to follow and come back for tomorrow's video because you're never going to believe where the next fan zone takes us.